Chattin with Staxx, baby.
We haven't probably seen a good flick like this since, what'd you say, Zero Casino, maybe?
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas?
Doing good. We're on set here filming, bringing you live in the Park Motel, rundown seedy section of Florida City.
When I was doing promotional work for Street Smart all along up to that point, I've done other press and other podcasts. They kept on saying, we're going to talk about his role in The Irishman and then Street Smart, his role in The Irishman. I want to say, what role?
I would walk around the corner and everybody would stuff dollar bills in my pocket. By the time I got home, I had $6-7 in my pocket. It was like big time then. I was a little kid,
Italian mother, Italian father. Nobody spoke English in the family. A lot of fights because they used to make fun of me because I didn't speak English. Yeah. And just grew up tough Bronx boy.
The first time I remember actually meeting him was, I guess, 1969, 1970. My father was in with Papa Doc Duvalier, and he was running boats. They called them junkets with gamblers to Haiti.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the explosion that almost killed Frank Lefty Rosenthal. What's good with everybody, man? Hope everyone's having a great day. Happy Tuesday. What's good with everyone, man? What's up, Red? How you doing? Let me guess, Red, you were in the car with him when it exploded. Were you around Las Vegas when this happened, Red? So this happened in 1982. He said, hell no. This happened in 1982. That was 30 years ago. Today. He said, who bombed Frank Lefty Rosenthal's car? This is from the Mob Museum's website. And it's crazy. When you look at that car, it's crazy to think that he even got out of that. What's good, Richard? How you doing? Shout out to you, bro. Thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out my show. Got a lot of good stuff coming in the future. You guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. So this is the car the dude jumped out of and lived. It said flames 2 to 3 inches high emerged from the defrost vents as he sat in his car. His takeout food in the parking lot of Tony Roma's restaurant, East Sahara Avenue in Las Vegas. That was the first thing Lefty Rosenthal saw. It's what he told author Nicholas Pileggi. Shout out to Nicholas Pileggi. The flames were reflecting on the interior windshield. Rosenthal asked himself, why is my car on fire? See, I believe that he was causing too much attention to get brought on himself, and that's the reason why they tried to kill him. What's up, Ernesto? How you doing? Shout out to you, bro. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you. First time you met Lefty was in Boca Raton, Florida. On an open night of casino. I was living in Palm Beach back then. How was he as a person? How was Lefty as a person? Was he like real showboaty and one of those kind of people? As Rosenthal struggled with the door to get out, the car filled with sheets of flames. Strong jolt might have thrown him against the steering wheel, hurting his ribs, but he couldn't remember any of that. Outside the car, with his clothes on fire, he rolled on the ground, snuff out the flames. 2 men assisted him as his car's gas tank ignited, causing the explosion like a bomb. Rosenthal saw 4,000-pound Cadillac Eldorado jump a few feet, flames shooting through the roof, 2 stories high. That's when I realized the first time I'd been in an accident, he told Pileggi. Then I knew someone put a bomb in my car. Today, authorities still do not know who planted the bomb that blew up Rosenthal's car. October 4th, 1982. Investigators speculated his life was saved because the 1981 built car had a steel stabilizing plate beneath the driver's seat, which deflected the blast. This dude's lucky as hell, man. He's lucky they didn't put it in like Danny Green's bomb. Like when the bomb went off for Danny Green, they put it in the car next to his car. So when he went to go put the key in the car, he's standing next to the car, and they just blew the car up and they like threw him against the car. Killed him instantly. This is Lefty. I think he was a showboating type of guy. I think he wanted the spotlight. He was like a piggy, a pay piggy, you know? He was like pay piggy. He wants the spotlight, and that's what got him blown up. Along with the uncertainty who killed Benjamin Bugsy Siegel in 1947 and in 1975 the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa, Rosenthal car bombing remains one of the top unsolved organized crime mysteries in the country. The car bombing came up during the panel discussion in the Mob Museum in 2017. This year, the Rosenthal incident is back in the public eye. 25th anniversary movie casino. This is back then when it started, so this is on the 25th anniversary. This was 5 years ago. The story that I'm reading right now. It's crazy that you can get out, and he was very vibrant. He came out on his front porch in a robe, pajamas, and slippers, and a cigarette holder in his mouth. Oh, like one of the long ones? What was he like a pimp and shit? Lefty was an FBI informant. I believe it. And him going on television the way he did, man. What's going on, Bruno? How you doing? Shout out to you, bro. So I'll show you a picture. So Tony Spilotro, I don't know, man. I personally think maybe Tony Spilotro had something to do with it. It says a suspect in the car bombing is former Milwaukee crime boss Frank Mad Bomber Boleriski. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it shows all the people that they think wanted to kill him. It says mobster Tony Spilotro, like Frank Rosenthal, was an underworld transplant from Chicago. Spilotro was having an affair with Lefty's wife. So it's possible, hey, it's possible that You know, old Tony could have put the bomb in the car because he wanted to get the chick. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, man, if I blow this dude up, then he won't be able to come back. And, in 2020, titled American Mafia States, the most evidence points to Bolarisky. He blamed Rosenthal for the Chicago's outfit's demanded that he surrender 25% of their take from the skimming operations. So it could have been. Some who were around during those days view it most differently, believing Kansas City mobsters were responsible for the bombing. Frank Cullotta, Chicagoidian, who reconnected with childhood pal Spilotro in Las Vegas in 1970, becoming a mob lieutenant in town, said in a recent telephone interview the Kansas City Mafia suspected Rosenthal of being a government informant and therefore wanted to take him down. Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jane Ann Morrison later confirmed through law enforcement sources what some mobsters sensed, that Rosenthal had been a top echelon federal informant. Like a lot of these other guys out here. Squeak, squeak. You know, there's Mr. Omerta, there's Mr. Omerta number 2, there's Mr. Omerta number 3, there's old Johnny Johnny Squeak Squeak over here. You know, all the top guys. Here's one of the biggest ones. Here's a group of them. You know, all the top echelon informants. But anyway, his involvement as being an informant went back a long time, according to Pileggi, said over the telephone recently from a Manhattan apartment. Screenwriter said Frank Rosenthal likely had been a top echelon informant far back as his Chicago years, when he was a prominent odd maker. They said that he was one of the highest people in the United States, like the biggest bookie in the United States to get bets from, to get betting advice and all of this. He was one of the top people in the country. The Sports Illustrated named him the top bookmaker in the country. So there's a reason why they went after this guy. Unlike others, Rosenthal was held criminally responsible for the widespread skimming that took place back then. He moved away from Las Vegas not long after the bombing, first to California, then to Florida, where he offered sports betting advice on his own website before dying in 2008 of an apparent heart attack at age 79. Cullotta said the Kansas City crime family, led by Nick Savella, these guys were tough, Cullotta said. The Kansas City family, Cullotta said, somewhat familiar with Kansas City, having participated in a couple of jewelry store heists in town with Spilotro and Chicago mobster Vincent the Saint Insero, scoring about $70,000 in stolen goods. Cullotta and the burglary crew called themselves the Hole in the Wall Gang. They were captured in 1981, breaking into what was then Bertha's Gift and Home Furnishing in East Sahara. not far from where Rosenthal's car firebombed the next year. I believe it had something to do with him being with his buddy's girl, man. Once you mess with your friend's girl, all bets are off. Dudes are gonna be on the hunt for you, man. You can't do that type of shit. Red says in 1964, Lefty became an informant. Collada went to Las Vegas in 1978. Tony didn't order it. The order came from Kansas City. I believe that too. Tony didn't order it, I believe. Maybe Tony had something to do with it. But who knows, man? Most likely, we'll never know. Unless, a lot of time's passing, so a lot of these people are dying. Maybe it's somewhere in some information out there, but who knows? I'm going to be dropping the Dan King full interview. If you guys don't know who that is, he was shot over 24 times. He had over 24 entry and exit wounds, and he survived. He was getting carjacked by 2 people. They had 2 guns, and they unloaded them on him. And he tells me that story. I am dropping that interview tonight. You guys don't want to miss that one. It's really good. Tony never saw it coming. You mean with Frank? Here, I'll see. Let me see. Here, I'll play a clip from that interview. What's up, Yankees for life, man? How you doing? Here, let's play this clip from the interview I did. The full interview will be out tonight. Right after I get off here, I'll load it up.
Documentaries to know, oh, these no, they were showing their face, and I watched enough true crime documentaries to know, oh, these motherfuckers are about to kill me. Like, I was just like, I just threw my phone down, I did this.
Do you hear anything? Are they saying like, give me the money or anything like that?
They said, you need to, they said, drop your phone right now. And I dropped the phone, and then I saw they weren't wearing their masks, and they said, you need to do exactly as we say. And then I tried to like back out. The mind, I fight or flight. I'm like, fight, flight, either one. So I like tried to back out. And then he opened the passenger door, just capped me.
Just capped him. Shot him in the kneecap. Shot him in the kneecap. And then the other guy shot him. They dragged him out of the car. And they just lit him up. They just emptied the guns into him. And they left him there and took his car and ran him over. Ran him over, too. So it's an incredible story. Once you guys hear it, you're going to be like, wow. I was like, wow, when I heard it. But I'm going to drop that tonight. Be on the lookout for that. There's a lot of good things. Go check out The Fast Life. We dropped 1 episode. And there's a lot more to come, man. We're just getting started. Shout out to Bill Crooks. But I hope you guys are rocking with me. I'll be back on later. And I'm going to upload that video right now so you guys can check it out. I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back on later. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time.